everybody, we're back with another video. Just going to do a quick rundown of everything we got in the store since I haven't had an opportunity to do any unboxings recently. We also got a saltwater shipment this week, so we'll do a rundown of that and also show you all that rocket wood that came in. Let's get to it. So first up, we've got some little 8-banded barbs, some Siamese algae eaters, green neon tetra, albino bronze cories, half moon beta, another half moon over here, some Norman lampi keelies. There are some pygmy cories hanging down at the bottom, and there's an orange laser over there. Here we have a little galaxy koi female beta, some penguin tetras, some diamond head neons, and a bunch of narite snails. Next tank we've got panda cories, some magenta mystery snails, and some silver tip tetras. And then down here we have some ornate rainbow gobies. And in here we've got cardinal tetra. There's a purple glow beta. Next tank over, we've got some white clouds, gold white clouds. There's some purple neons, or just purple tetras. There's a cobalt goby. And we've got some rummy nose tetra, and another half moon. And over here we've got some Starby Corridorus, and a Galaxy Candy Beta hanging out down in the corner here, along with some Medaka rice fish. And over here we have a lonely little gold neon beta, or gold neon tetra, excuse me, and some Signifer blue eye rainbows. We've got Harlequin rasbora, some pepper cories, and a koi beta. And next up there are the tiger barbs, some gold barbs. And we've got some female guppies. There's another koi beta hiding in the little ceramic. It looks like we had some baby plecos. Didn't know about those until just now. And then here's some Loretto cories. And then we've got some assorted male guppies, mostly flamingo right now, along with some horseman cory hiding at the bottom, and some coolie loaches. And we've got the neon tetra. Should be another beta hiding in here somewhere. And I think I actually missed a beta back here. We got a half moon dragon scale back there. And then in our next tank we've got black emperor tetras along with some lemon tetra. And there is also another little dragon scale half moon in here. That is the first row. Alright, so first up in this row we've got some Pristella tetras, and we also have reticulated hillstream loaches hiding in here. There's also a little Epistogramma cocatoides. Next up we've got some dwarf chain loaches and some Congo tetra. There's also a pair of African river cichlids. These are a type of Crebensis. It's Pelvicochromes drachenfeldsi, and that's the male, and the female is somewhere in here, hiding. And we've got some black neon tetra, along with some red neon rainbow fish in here. And also down at the bottom we've got some blue-eyed lemon bristlenose. Over here we've got some cherry barbs. they're all that's left in this tank right now. Oh, there is also a little flagfish. And we've got some black ruby barbs. And down at the bottom, oh, just missed him. There's a sumo loach in there, along with some rainbow sharks. We've got some diamond tetras, and some autocinclus, and some glass cats hiding. Over here we have some ember tetra, some red cherry shrimp down at the bottom, and there's also a few pork chop rasbora still. And over here we've got celestial pearl danios and neon green rasbora. Here we've got what the distributor calls Indigo Barbs, and they're, I think, more commonly known as Setnai Barbs. And then there's also that Bosemani Rainbow. And there may, hanging out up the top here, there's an African butterfly fish. And we've got Celebes rainbows, and peacock gudgeons, and also some little sparkling gourami. And there's honey gouramis, along with some white fin tetras, and one of the coolest shrimp in my opinion, the vampire shrimp. Big filter feeders, but peaceful. Get about 6 inches. And we've got some little powder blue dwarf gourami females, along with some red flame males. Here we just have a couple little swordtails left. And we've got a lot of little nano chili rasbora. And there's also some little clown keelies hanging out in here, along with blue velvet shrimp. And that's the end of that row. Alright, before I pop over to the other side, I realized I missed the spiny eels. There's a Burmese spiny eel hiding down under these PVC pipes here, and then over in this next tank we've got some zigzag eels, really small species of eel. And there's also a black ghost knife hiding in here. Missed those on my first pass. But then over on our other side, got the rainbow fish tank. Got some Irian red rainbows. There's the male and female right there. Got some Australian rainbows. This is the Goiter River rainbow. Those are the little red finned guys. There's a few of those in here. Then there's some young Bosemani. Then we've also got a couple of new rainbows that we haven't ever had before. We've got what Melanotania Gary-Langai, which is called a golden rainbow. And you can see these guys get like a golden body with some red fins. And then there's also a very, very small turquoise rainbow. And then the other kind that we've never had before is this guy here, and that's a Kalitawa rainbow. There's a couple of those in here, and they're really cool. The males get the typical like blaze across their head like you see in turquoise rainbows, but theirs is a red color. You can just barely see a little bit coming in on this guy. And they have a red caudal fin, if these other ones would get out of the way. And they get green across the body with white dorsal and pectoral and anal fins. Really unique look, and I've never seen these ones before. Okay, moving on. We've got our sort of hodgepodge tank of donations, and there's a lot of black skirts in here. There's a Serpe, there's Buenos Aires, a bunch of random stuff. Over here we've got pearl gouramis, along with a bunch of lyre-tail mollies. And I believe down there is a tiger pleco. And there may be pictus cats hiding in here as well. Next up we have some platinum hatchet fish. And down underneath there is a centipede knifefish. This is the guy that everyone who walks by thinks that he's dead because he likes to just lay down on this leaf and on his side all day. And down underneath here, I don't know if we can find them, there are a couple of bichirs. We've got gold dust and a guinea. Gold dust stay fairly small, you're looking at 15-16 inches. And the guinea is one of the big species, 2 feet plus. But there's that guy taking a little nap. Just some assorted angels. Looks like we're down to only 1 plat, some koi, some silvers. Nothing too crazy right now. And there's also some pandagaras in here. And I believe there are some clown plecos hiding, usually somewhere down in the wood. Then we've got rams. We've got some electric blues in, some German golds. There's also some German blues. There's one. And we've got gold nugget pleco. That's an L81. And there's an L18 gold nugget over there. Got some black phantom tetras in here, along with some Bolivian rams and some Farloella vittata in the back. And there's also yo-yo loaches hiding. And then this guy who's been here forever, this is a dwarf green Distinctus tugelsi, plant eater, so beware. And some very little fish over here. These are a small African tetra called Adonis tetras. And there are some super small dwarf anchor catfish. And also hiding in here, we've got a few other things, if we can spot them. Can't quite get a look at her. There, you can see her tail just barely there. But there's a Queen Arabesque pleco in here. And there is also a pair of wild beta. Usually they're hanging out in the back by the heater or filter, so don't know if we'll get a look at them. They just came in a few days ago. It's a pair of beta hendra. And also up at the top we've got the marble hatchets. And over here we've got a bunch of albino bristlenose plecos, some decent sized males, and a female over there. And then we've got some, looks like just one little Beckfords left, and some Colombian gold tetras. And also in the back we've got royal pleco. And then another pair of wild beta are hanging out in here. This is beta Alba Marginata. This looks like a little female. Not sure where the male is hiding. Oh, here we go. These ones are called white seam fighters. Hard to get a good look at them here, but you can see they've got white trim along their caudal, anal, and dorsal fins. They get a nice red color when they're breeding. And those beta hendra get like a bluish purple in the males, at least. Then over here we've got a little pistogramma. This is a pistogramma nissenai. And there are some glow light danios and chocolate gourami. And there is also another pleco hiding in this one. You can just barely see him in the dark there. That is a leopard frog. Next up we have some flame tetras. These guys get like orange across their back half. And there are also some one-line pencils. And we have a worm line pleco over here. And one Apistogramma Hong Sloy, who just ran away, unfortunately. And last up in this row, we've got some red-tail rasboras. Pretty hard to see. This is a really tandemed up tank. There is also checker barbs hanging down at the bottom. And one more pleco in here, if we can find him, which I don't think we can. It is a small Hyphancistrus called an Angelicus pleco. And that's the end of that row. Alright, over in this next row, we have a Senegal Bichir, pretty good size one, probably about 7 inches or so, along with some gold severum. And over here we've got a couple kinds of silver dollars. That's a red hook, and that's a black bar. There's also a couple of Sumbu dwarf Altolamprologus. That's a small shell-dwelling Tanganyikan cichlid there. There's a couple of them. And then we've got another Tanganyikan cichlid swimming around here. This is Tilapia Ventralis. This is one we haven't had before. You can just see a little bit of color coming in on some of these males. They call these sunflowers. They get a lot of yellow. And somewhere hanging down, usually under the rocks, there are some cuckoo catfish. Then in this tank, we've got this guy right here. This is Teleogramma brichardi. This is an African river cichlid, pretty territorial, so make sure you don't have bottom feeders in with him, or unless you've got a lot of room, because he will defend this cave. And over here we've got, these are hognose cats, big species of cory, get like 4 inches. And usually under here, there's a couple more hognose hanging out. And also, you can just see the tail in the back here, sticking out from the darkness of a whip-tailed banjo catfish. He's a unique one. And this guy right here is a type of geophagus. It's a Pellegrini. There's some more larger male Congo tetras in here, and also a flag-tailed porthole catfish. And we've got our African cichlid tank. Got a lot of big OBs. That's a Taiwan reef. There's a Jacob Free Bear guy down there. That's a big Renfin Kadongo and a Red Empress. Oh, and they're freaking out. Then there's an albino dragon's blood hiding down there. And that is a Lawanda peacock. There's also some random females in here. Then over on this we've got some assorted platies and some roseline sharks. And we've also got our little stock tank for koi back here. Everything from little small, tiny Ogun golds, and there's a longfin or a butterfly golden koi in there, to some pretty big, like 8-9 inch guys in here. And over there, got just a bunch of betas in their own little tanks. Some half moons down on that end. The guys over here are veil tails, and there's some crown tails in the middle. I don't know if I can see any. There's one right down there. And then in here we've got our electric blue Cara. These are all locally bred. And then zooming around, we've got some Aurelius ardens, which are orange fin hill trout. And somewhere hiding in here, I think you can just see him in the back there. That is a Chinese peppermint loach. Next up, we've got the African Red Eye Tetras, hanging out with some clown loaches. And over here we've got a couple kinds of barbs. Those are Odessas with the red up top. And then cruising around here, there's Aurelius barbs. And just a few convicts in that tank. And in here we've got some South American puffers. These are one of the most peaceful puffers you're going to find for freshwater. You want to keep these guys in groups. And over here we've got some Lake Victorian cichlids. These are Pandemilia nyeyeri, Rudy Island. These were actually locally bred as well. And there are just one Tilapia nublia over here. And a couple of smaller female Pandemilia nyeyeri and Mwanza Gulf. Oh, and there's another nublia. Slim pickings over here in the Tanganyikan tank. That is Lelupai, Neolamprologus lelupai. That's a little Tradocephalus right there. We have a Juliodochromys ornatus. And we also have another little Neolamprologus. This is Cylindricus. And there's a couple shell dwellers in here. These are Ocellatus. There's one, the other one I think is hanging out in this shell. And over here we've got a Geophagus brasiliensis. And then these guys are a larger Kerasin, like Tetra relative, called a red-tail hemiotus. These guys get pretty good size, like 4 inches. Then we finally back in stock, we got some pea puffers. And these are absurdly tiny. And I think we have a pretty much empty tank here. There's bristlenose in there. And we've got my little cichlids that are being raised out. And finally over here we've got a little tiny red Oscar. And down at the bottom we've got some keyhole cichlids. So last up for our freshwater we have some orange Neocaridina over here. There are some yellow in the next tank. Over here we've got a couple different things. There's just some red cherries also hiding in here, and right next to him is what's called a Rudolph shrimp. Not sure how many we have of those hanging out in this pearlweed jungle, but unique Caridina species of shrimp. And then over here we've got some Bloody Marys. You can see these dark reds. And perhaps, if I can find any, some snowball Neocaridina. But I am not seeing any of those left. And then pretty much empty goldfish tank. Then finally we're able to get some ranchus back in. A bunch of different colored water potatoes, along with some black moors. Then over here we just have a fantail. There's another moor. These are calicos. And that wraps up the freshwater. Now on to the saltwater. I will try not to miss anything, but these guys are pretty skittish. So here we have an Arceye hawkfish. Right down at the bottom, you can just see it poking out. There's a bicolored dotty back. And just went into the back here, we've got a Coral Beauty Angel. And over here, we got a Pajama Cardinal, just went over there. Got a little Percula clownfish, along with some blue-green chromies. And hanging down at the bottom, you can just see one poking its head out is an engineer goby. Those guys that dig all through here. You can see another exit over here. There's a whole group of them in that tank. And over here, there's another clown. And this is where it gets tough. I believe there's plenty hiding in here, but I do not see him. purple firefish. There's a little Roland's damsel. And this is another Percula clown. And now in here, I just saw him right in the back there. That's a flame hawkfish. And up at the top, we got a skunk clown hiding. Couping damsel. Another damsel there. We got a dog-faced puffer. And I think that's everyone hiding in this tank. And just up in the back here, you can see a coral banded shrimp and a bunch of clownfish. Got some mocha, and these others are just ocellaris. We got a group of ocellaris in here, along with a long-nosed hawkfish. And in the final tank, we've got an interesting little clown here. It's a misbar that just has a white dot on his head. I haven't seen that before. I'm not sure if it has a special name. Somebody brought that guy in. And also, somewhere hiding in this tank, there is a little pygmy angelfish. And that is it for this sub row, and I'll go do the last row of saltwater. So over here we've got the spring eye damsels. There's a Tomini tang over here, and also an Aptasia eating filefish. And in the next tank, hiding himself in the rocks, we've got a Niger trigger. And then store favorite is this Gulf toadfish or orange toadfish. Everyone likes to see that guy when they walk in. And then over here we've got a Nasotang. Next tank over, we've got a passer angelfish back here, along with a bunch of cleaner shrimp. And there are also some urchins, pincushions. There's another one and a big one back there. Some more cleaner shrimp. There's a fire shrimp. And we've got an Imperator angel over here and a white-tailed bristletooth tang. Then here's a Humu Humu trigger, along with a metallic squirrelfish back there, and another Niger hanging out in the rocks. And here we've got another one of those flame hawkfish. There is a fox face hiding in the back. And, oh, don't know if I can see him. There's a leopard wrasse. Moirai leopard wrasse. Oh, there he is. And there's also some big boy green brittle stars, or green serpent stars, sorry. Really big ones. And in here, you can just barely see him. We've got some bubbles going on in this tank right now. There is a big ol' zebra moray eel and a big brown powder brown tang. We've got a little tiny sailfin, some more springer eye damsels, a tiny blue hippo tang, and I believe there's also a little possum wrasse hiding in here, but I don't see him anywhere. And that wraps up the saltwater. I'm sure I missed some things that are hiding, but that's the majority of it. Last up is just a quick rundown of all the raw wood and rock we got in last week, or week and a half ago now, I guess. We've got a bunch of pine root, 3 different sizes of that, along with 4 different sizes of spiderwood, which is azalea root, all the way down from little pretty cheap pieces to pretty big ones over here. And we actually have some even bigger ones coming in hopefully next week. There's a bunch of Mopani and some other larger pieces of driftwood. Pieces of mangrove left. A lot of little pieces all the way up to really, really big pieces of driftwood. We also got in, which we've had before, but it's been a while, some stump pieces. And some bigger ones back here. We were finally able to get some of the spiderwood, just like little branching pieces in bags again. Make good accents to tanks. Then we got all these different rocks. That is 7 different kinds? 8 different kinds now, I guess. This one they call chicken bone. That's a rainbow, Nepal red. That's a petrified wood, black axe, dragonstone, guiging, and 1,000 layer stone. So a lot of different aquascaping options in the store now. We also have small bags of a few kinds of rocks, just littler pieces. So come on in and try to find your perfect piece. Alright, that'll do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, if you have any questions, just leave them down below or give us a call. And if you want anything help, we can do that also. You guys have a good one.